Hello and welcome back to the Lore Raider and the second part of my 800 subscriber special. Last time I gave a complete look at the scaling of Samus Aran. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking out that video. But for today, we will be looking at the channel's second leading lady, the Tomb Raider herself, Lara Croft. In this video, we'll be looking at a composite Lara Croft combining the best from every continuity. Those being the original timeline, the Legends timeline, the Survivor timeline, the Journeys timeline, the series timeline, the Reloaded timeline, the revisioned timeline, the 2001 movie timeline, and finally, the 2018 movie timeline. So without further ado, join me as we ask the question, how powerful is Lara Croft? Lara Croft is often lumped in with the likes of Channel Punching Bag Master Chief. Oh, how wrong that is. But let's start with the basics and work our way up. Lara Croft easily obtains her more traditional wall-to-building level AP right off the jump, as she managed to punch a superhuman through a wooden beam with ease. She has managed to face tank so many goddamn explosions to the face, it's not even funny. She has slayed giant dinosaurs with her handguns, she has one-shot a dragon with a sword, and most impressively in this tier she has face-tanked 2 missiles at the same time. She has also the endurance and fortitude to resist being tortured for 20 minutes without so much as cracking. That is very impressive. If that wasn't enough, however, in this tier we instantly get out of building level and into town level range, as in both the original timeline and the Legends timeline, she manages to overpower Jacqueline Natla, the very same Natla who in both timelines manages to survive being at the center of a nuclear detonation. But if you thought that was impressive, think again. In many timelines, Lara Croft actually contends with gods, and not only fights them, but damages them in boss fights, like when she one-shots Osiris with a kick, or contends with Set in 2 games. Set is a god strong enough to sink boats similar to the boat of Ra. The boat of Ra is literally the sun. And Lara's basic ass handguns harm this guy. Oh, what, you thought star level Lara Croft was too much? Well, well, if you want to talk about unifying the timelines, in issue number 50 of the series comic run, it is shown that every other version of Lara Croft is uninteractable fiction compared to the version of Lara Croft in the comic. Just fictional movies and video games and what may have you. That's as much reality over fiction transcendence as a game master over the NPCs on a tabletop game. Yes, I'm actually telling you, if you really wanted to, you could get Lara Croft to outer versal minimum. And this isn't even inconsistent, as Lara Croft is out here boxing with the likes of the concept of anti-flesh and antimatter, who considers time and space its playground, and is relative to the likes of Jackie Estacado, who literally recreated the entire universe with ease. Lara Croft is universal to outer versal. I know I'm going to be crucified for that last one, but let's talk about speed. Lara Croft easily makes it into the lightning timing realm as she simply, well, dodges lightning. But if you paid attention to the last section of the video, you know the big domino here is that, given Set very literally reacted to Ra in his sunboat, the movement and reaction speed of the sunlight, he should scale to said sunlight, which, as you can imagine, is light speed. At the very least, for reaction speed, but certainly for movement speed for Set. However, if you don't buy that this translates to Lara's movement speed, Lara still managed to do a very impressive feat of carrying this full-grown man, he's not exactly thin, on her back whilst bogged down in snow, and yet still manages to outrun an avalanche. And avalanches can travel up to 200 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour. And this was an over-encumbered Lara Croft at that, still very respectable. If you thought the last section was a little short, don't worry, all the juicy stuff is here. Lara Croft is practically all skill, and I hardly know where to begin, but let's start with her physical skill. Lara Croft is an expert survivalist, martial artist, and weapon user. She can throw men off cliffs despite having a leverage disadvantage. She can react to point-blank spike traps with ease. She threw a climbing axe at a helicopter, causing it to explode, and just face-tanked a gunshot wound to the arm, and just knocks out her opponent anyway. She can overwhelm a dozen gunmen aiming at her from all vantage points while she's on a bungee cord and still take them out. She was able to react to a teleporting attack and somehow managed to evade the blow. She can dodge strikes from enemies while in a pitch-black cave and she can't see anything. Speaking of, Lara Croft has trained her other senses to work just as much as her eyes. She can land 5 perfect headshots in a row from a quick draw. She's a master of numerous martial arts, including the sword, the staff, and what may have you, and is recognized as beyond Olympic level in her athletic abilities. She can triple hit 3 people with a bow at the same time. She can slaughter an entire Roman legion within an enclosed space. She has outfenced immortal conquistadors on at least 2 occasions. She killed the Secutor, this big guard for the papacy, by landing headshots through his helmet. She contends with the Magdalena, who is literally the descendant of Jesus himself, and the Magdalena regularly murders angels and demons on the side. She is reincarnated through time, and every time she reincarnates, she beats the shit out of her eternal rival, Jonathan Kagan. And she can block biplane bullets with her gun, and then snipes the pilot with a handgun while it's in the air. Lara Croft can easily blend into any environment she wants to and is a master of stealth, capable of silently killing hordes of soldiers with no one noticing. It can even sense enemies through solid objects. And finally, she has managed to eradicate an entire global paramilitary organization by herself. Long story short, Lara Croft isn't someone you want to tangle with. Moving on to her intelligence, every version of Lara Croft has the trait of casually outsmarting the best and brightest minds in the world with relative ease. She casually discovers locations no one has found in thousands of years all the time. She outplays every government who tries to go after her. It's to the point that at times she has to literally just read one book and she instantly knows where her target or her next lead is. She outsmarts Natla, who is an immortal ancient tech genius. She outsmarts Amanda Everest, Chase Carver, Jonathan Kagan, and many more, all of whom are geniuses or are rivals to Lara in some way, shape, or form. Lara Croft is fluent in a bunch of languages, including Egyptian, Farsi, Japanese, Mandarin, Nordic, Roman, Spanish, and the list goes on. Conclusion: Lara Croft is literally female Batman. Lara Croft is not the most hacked out character in fiction, but that isn't to say that she's completely helpless, no. She has her trusty handguns, which consistently have infinite ammunition, meaning that she'll never be without a weapon at her side. She has fire grenades, ice grenades, poison grenades. She can make her bullets have a fire, electricity, or ice effect, and can make enemies explode upon their deaths to hurt other enemies. She can have her bullets go right through her enemies or have her bullets ricochet off walls. And her guns fire additional bullets per pull of the trigger. She has an increased chance of landing critical hits on enemies. She has poison arrows that can instantly kill enemies within its gaseous AoE. She is gifted with immortality that allows her to shrug off otherwise very lethal wounds. She has knowledge of all her past lives and their skills within her. She is aware of the fourth wall and is more than capable of killing the player. She is also capable of hitting intangible opponents like ghosts. This is only as she is normally. This doesn't account for her artifacts, which she has acquired over the years, and trust me, there are too many to count. However, some of the highlights include becoming God temporarily with the ability to alter reality in any way she sees fit. She also had the Dream Spear temporarily that allowed her to wreak havoc across the earth simply by moving to the Dream Realm. And with Excalibur, she defeated a Wraith monster and could shoot out lethal green energy with each swing. She was also capable of lifting and wielding Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, among an uncountable other dangerous artifacts she has in her collection. composite Lara Croft is at minimum universe level to outerversal, with reality over fiction transcendence coupled with respectable light speed, along with her insane, practically unparalleled amount of skill, along with her beyond genius level intellect and deductive ability, and her assortment of deadly weapons and artifacts at her disposal. In short, Lara Croft's handguns one-shot Goku. Feel free to cry about it. But with this video at its end, I shall take a break from scaling videos and return to my lore videos, which I haven't done for a while. And thank you again for 800 subscribers. I'm very indebted to you all, and I couldn't be here without you. But until then, you know how I leave you. Be safe, be wise, and please pray for a true peace in space.